Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the weekend games that have just gone and any controversial issues, any goals or anything like that that happened. If you like our videos, please subscribe. Please drop a like on the video as well. Please put some comments on as well. What did you think of the games? Um, Check out our socials below and all that jazz. And check out all other videos as well of all the other games and our prediction videos as well. There's plenty more videos to come, so I hope you stick with us. 7:15 Sunday was Arsenal 0, Burnley 1.
Yeah, Xhaka sent off Arsenal before Aubameyang finally scores a goal in the wrong net. And condemns Arsenal to their worst start, at least their worst home run in 61 years. And they deserved no more, to be honest. That's perhaps a bit harsh on Arsenal. They were the better team up until the sending off.
I
But
think both teams had some decent chances. Yeah, Arsenal definitely looked the best team out the two up until then, but the this is something that you kind of expect Arsenal to be a lot better. Not taking it away from Burnley, but the amount of chances that they did have, and they just wasn't good enough. They wasn't clinical in front of the goal, and that's why they're absolutely struggling.
Lacazette and Aubameyang both guilty of missing big chances, which you'd expect both of them players to put them away. On the flip side, Chris Wood missed a massive chance for Burnley as well in the first half, unmarked 6 yards out with a header and skewed it wide. And to be honest, you went through most of this game and you think this has got 0-0 written all over it. Neither team can score here. But Burnley were pretty solid defensively, and we mentioned in other videos about defenders throwing their bodies on the line, and that's what Burnley did today. And
Yeah,
they fought so hard for this win. And if you purely look at effort alone, Burnley deserved to win massively.
I mean, going on the form, obviously our predictions, we both had Burnley to win this game, and I think that's more because of the form that Arsenal are showing. They're not looking like a team that. I mean, they are fighting because they're fighting on the pitch, but they're not fighting in terms of showing passion.
Yeah, and well, speaking of fighting on the pitch, Xhaka, what a stupid boy.
Yeah.
It's Pepe levels of stupid. And there was a tackle that went in. I think it was Xhaka actually made the tackle, weren't
It
it?
was, yeah.
And a Burnley player reacted wrong, like pretty strongly to it. They had a bit of a push-in match, as everyone does. People start to crowd in, and then he grabs Ashley Westwood round the throat and pushes him away in front of the referee. The referee definitely saw it because even Lacazette turned to him and he looked as if he turned his mouth to the referee. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The referee gave a yellow card originally, which recommended to go and look at the monitor and change it to a red.
So
And
I think this was one where so this is another one of my pet hates this season is the fact that the referee shouldn't have been told by VAR to go and review this because he should have got it right the first time. It
yeah, sure.
happened right in front of him. The fact that VAR had to tell him to go and have a look at it because it might warrant more than a yellow card, it was right in front of him. He should have had the red card out before the yellow card anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, I know the Burnley player had his back to him, but you can surely see when someone's being grabbed around the throat. Surely.
Yeah.
Uh, and if he can't, then it's facing the fourth official and the assistant referee on that side. They have comms. One of them must have seen that and, called it out. But yeah, it was just idiotic from Shaka. And
VAR's making the referees, the linesmen, the fourth officials lazy as hell. They turn up because they've got an easy day. Because all they've got to do it's just all the ref's got to do is just run around, blow his whistle a couple of times, and if he makes any mistakes, he'll get called out by VAR, and then he can review it and make his own decisions. And it's doing my head in.
I mean, the only thing I can possibly think that may have happened here with the yellow card was he gave the yellow card for the foul. Obviously, we don't know what was said between the referee and Xhaka and obviously VAR and everything. So it might have been that he gave the yellow card for the foul, but then why would you rescind the yellow card? You'd keep that and then send him off.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and perhaps a bit lucky to not have another sending off as well. There was a corner and a little bit of a clash in the box.
This one was stupid.
I mean, it's Arsenal, so of course it's stupid.
Tarkowski, obviously before the corner had even come in, and who was it now?
I think it was Oneni.
No,
That was marking him. It was Oneni.
was it?
Yeah. And at first you think, he's gone to block him off and, got his hands a bit high, but then he clearly pushes him right in the face.
But the fact that he pushed him right in the face, saw the player go down, and then goes, "Oh, I'll best go down now as well."
Yeah, as if he always run into me, we've collided. And I don't know how he wasn't at least sent over to the monitor for this one either.
No, I mean, we said this about Pepe when he got sent off a couple of weeks ago. Doing things like this, he pushed him in the face, right? There was no contact on him. For you to go down when there's no contact like that, knowing that there's VAR, there's Sky cameras all over the place and everything like that, aren't you ashamed? Aren't you embarrassed?
I think the thing that gives it away for me is, he extends, he literally pushes into his arms. You don't do that by accident. That is clearly on purpose, and therefore is violent conduct, and it should have been another red card.
Yeah, definitely.
The referee gave a yellow. I think that was. I don't know if he'd seen it. He can't have seen it.
What did they give a yellow card for then?
But VAR can't tell him to give a yellow card, so it must have been one of the officials that saw it. And I don't know what happened in this game.
This is where we need to be able to hear the comms.
Yep.
The fact that we don't know why these have been given and we don't know what's been said or anything like that, we start speculating and we start saying bad things about the refs and the linesmen because we don't know. They might be having a conversation. As soon as we hear that conversation, we might understand a lot more and we might have more respect for them. But the fact that we can't hear them, the fact that they don't get interviewed and they don't come out and admit the mistakes or anything like that, we're just going to keep bad-mouthing them and just thinking that they're just useless at the job.
Yeah, I suppose Arsenal did get a bit of just desserts from the ensuing corner. When a pretty nice ball whipped in, Bamiyang jumping with his man, it hits his head and goes in past the keeper. Fantastic header.
Well done, Bamiyang.
I'd say if you're doing that in the right net, then you can go for a cracking header. But
this is where Bamiyang, he's got his goal now. This is where he starts firing on all cylinders.
Firing into the empty net, into his own goal, then I'll be loving it. But yeah, I don't know if he sort of like almost pulled out of the header. He almost like flinched before it happened. And you commit to that and you're putting it out for another corner or you're clearing it, but I don't know what he was scared of. And he shows why he's not scoring in the right net because he looked like a guy going for a header with no confidence.
I don't think anybody in the Arsenal team's got any confidence at the moment. I think, for me, over the past couple of weeks, I think the best player in my eyes, from what I've seen, has been Tierney at left back.
Yeah,
He's the only one that I've seen that I'd have any confidence of doing anything in the game.
yeah, and let's
Um,
say I did have the chances. Pope made some fantastic saves to really keep Burnley in it, but I say players like Lacazette and Aubameyang, even Saka, you give some of them the chances that they had, and they've got to be scoring that. These are very good players on a lot of money, and to me, I don't particularly think Arteta is doing anything wrong tactically. The players just aren't performing for him.
yeah, and how long has he got? You know, so Arsenal's currently 15th on 13 points. They're 5 points above Fulham, who's in the drop zone, and there's no there's no point in even talking about how far they are away from top. They've they've won 4 games out of the 12, and they've lost 7. The last 6 games, they've only won one of them and drew one. This is a bad form Arsenal. And talking about the red card as well, so obviously Pepe got called sent off a couple of weeks ago. Zaka this weekend. I think it was a stat that you told me earlier was Arsenal have had more red cards, twice as many red cards as any other team in the Premier League since he took over at Arsenal.
And he's not even there a full calendar year yet, and that's 6 red cards. And then also remember that we had 3 months off
So
as well.
this is
So they're almost averaging a red card every month. And
this is a bad Arsenal, and they. If you have a look at the Arsenal fans, obviously the Arsenal fans, especially Arsenal fan TV, everybody's like watched their videos and they've seen them rant about Wenger out and Wenger in and this person out, this person in, and everything like that, and the rants they've had about Ozil and everything like that. Ozil, if it was registered, could be a player as daft as it sounds to come in and actually show him how to play. But Arsenal fans can't be happy right now, and they can't. They had so much faith in him coming. He'd been working under Pep Guardiola for so long, so he's definitely learnt a lot. And this doesn't make him a bad manager either. He could end up getting sacked from Arsenal, going somewhere else and doing really well. It could be the fact that Arsenal's been in such a mess for so many years that it's finally showing, and they need to spend some money. They need to buy the right players. The attitude of players needs to change. And as daft as it sounds, I think one player that they was missing today was David Luiz.
yeah, yeah. We said last week that Arsenal just don't have any leadership. And they don't. And the biggest issue for Arsenal is, say they sack Arteta, who's going to want to come in to this team? Because you look at the players that are there, and they don't want to be there. They clearly don't want to be playing for that club. And no matter who you bring as manager, who are you going to sign that is going to turn this around for Arsenal? If you've
It's a
got
big job.
Aubameyang in your team that isn't doing it, then who is going to do it for you? And
This isn't a challenge that I'd like to take on Football Manager.
no, and yeah, you said it yourself. This is one of the worst Arsenal teams of perhaps all time, and they are so lucky that there is teams worse than them in the league.
But for how long?
Exactly. I mean, Arteta is now the favourite to be sacked. But they're just atrocious. I
So if we have
don't
a look
think.
at the clubs below them, so we've said numerous weeks that Brighton have been unlucky in so many of their games. They deserve a lot more points than what they've actually got. Burnley, who they actually lost to, Burnley's 4 points below Arsenal.
Yeah, and let's
Uh,
take nothing away from Burnley. Burnley looked fantastic in this game as well. They're a
Definitely,
massive improvement for them.
we've said a lot about Burnley being very very poor, and they actually showed willing. They put up a fight, and they
Right fight.
yeah. I think that's it. I think that the passion that Arsenal was showing was the wrong type of passion. Burnley did it in the right way. But Burnley, they're 4 points behind Arsenal, but they've also got a game in hand. And then you've got Fulham, another team that won this weekend. And then below that, you've got West Brom and Sheffield United.
They drew this weekend, okay. But
Uh,
no, Fulham, who have been picking up decent results. West Brom, who have looked decent at times, just not seem to be getting the results, and then Sheffield United. And it's perhaps a bit harsh on Sheffield United, but they are a poor Arsenal. So, but yeah, we've said it last week. I just don't know where Arsenal's next win is coming from, and based off today, I don't know where the next goal's coming from.
we've said how important it is to get points at this point of the season. You know, you want to be on as many points as possible. You know, Leicester a couple of weeks ago, we said that even though they'd lost, they dropped some points, they're still up there in top four just because they got the points early on. The fact that Arsenal aren't getting the points early on, and we're used to seeing them in some kind of European competition, and with the European Conference competition coming in next year, the fact that they're currently 15th after 12 games, they might not even qualify for that. And that's going to be a massive loss as well, because that's a massive loss of income.
Yep. And you take a look at their games left in December, and again, they're going to struggle. They've got Southampton, who are doing fantastic at the moment. Everton, who obviously had a massive win this weekend. Manchester City in the EFL Cup. City always tend to score a lot past Arsenal. Chelsea in the league, massive game. And then Brighton, who they're battling down there. And Brighton are going to be up for that. And Arsenal could
We could see Arsenal in the bottom three at the end of the year.
End up in the drop zone by the end of this month, and even the first game of January, West Brom.
I'm calling it January 1st, Southampton at top, Arsenal 18th.
Everyone make a note of that. Come back to this video if that doesn't happen, and make sure he knows about it. But yeah, Arsenal just it's poor.